Here we are again in our series on health challenges, especially talking about major maladies. Just a little review. Again, last week, or the last video that you watched, we talked about how health was like turning on a light and darkness was that major malady. A lot of times people are over there with a major malady, cursing the major malady and telling that major malady to get out of there and taking some medication against that malady or for that malady. And our whole premise is, let's turn on the light. That's a lot easier. Major malady that somebody just came to me with. They came and they told me they had a life-threatening malady, a disease, called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which kind of scared this individual. Then he went back and he found out a little bit more about it and found out maybe it wasn't life-threatening, but it could be, and maybe it was brought on by some environmental irritants. Well, I sat down and talked with him, had a health evaluation with him, and first of all, we went through what this word was. Sometimes when there's a major malady, we go to a doctor and there's an analysis or there's a checkup and they come back and all of a sudden it either scares us or it comforts us to know that we've got this idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. And I said, well, first of all, let's take the word apart. Pulmonary is your lungs. Fibrosis is a scarring or a hardening of the tissue, so the tissue in the lungs. Idiopathic just means we're not sure where it came from. How did it get there? So basically I sat down with him and I said, it's your lungs, it's scarring or it's a hardening, and idiopathic means we don't know where it came from, even though you came back with me and said maybe it has some environmental irritants. Then a lot of times when we're diagnosed with something, we'll go and get a medication and they tell us to take that medication for this malady, this disease. But like we said in the first video, a disease, a malady, is just the absence of good health. It's like not having the light on. I sometimes wonder when you get a medication, why do they say are you taking it for that malady? Why don't they say you're taking it against the malady, if that malady really exists? But remember, that malady, disease, is just the absence of health. Anyway, he did talk about the fact that it might be caused or brought on by environmental irritants. And right off the bat, I said, you know, our little poem that we said before, you know, that says, the best 6 doctors anywhere and no one can deny it are sunshine, water, rest and air, exercise and diet. I said environmental irritants. What if we had something where we had April fresh air, we had sunshine, we had like after a thunderstorm fresh air, maybe it was something like our fresh air system. What if we got the mold, the mildew, the bacteria, the things floating in the air out of the air? That would get rid of an environmental irritant. What if we had something like our living water system that totally hydrated these lungs that were getting hard? What if we hydrated them? What if we changed the pH? And right off the bat I said, instead of thinking about taking something for or against this malady, what if we do something in terms of the probable cause that would start to build health? And so with that, again, no matter what kind of malady we're facing, instead of thinking about fighting the malady, cursing the malady, trying to get rid of the darkness, why don't we look at it and say, what can I do to build the health or build the health of my lungs?